Welcome back to Silent Conspiracy. Picture this. February 2006, in the quiet backwaters of Thrissur district, Kerala. A fisherman named Ripper Jayanandan returns home from his daily catch. Humming old Malalama, films songs under his breath as he always does. His neighbors know him as the man who sings while he works traditional boat songs that echo across the marshlands where he casts his nets. But within months, this seemingly ordinary singing fisherman would be branded as one of Kerala's most notorious serial killers, earning the chilling moniker Ripper Jayanandan, the singing serial killer whose case would expose the dark underbelly of police investigations and raise haunting questions that remain unanswered to this day. The name Jayanandan first made headlines following the brutal murder of 51-year-old Devaki at Puttavelakara in November 2006. Found bludgeoned to death in her home with severe head injuries, Devaki's killing sent shockwaves through the peaceful coastal community. Her husband Ramakrishnan lay nearby, barely alive with catastrophic brain injuries that would leave him permanently disabled. The attack bore all the hallmarks of a burglary gone wrong, valuables missing, the house ransacked, and no witnesses to the midnight horror. For weeks, Kerala police had no leads. Then, in what seemed like a breakthrough, they received a tip from a secret informant. On November 23, 2006, I arrested Jayanandan, a 38-year-old fisherman from the marginalized Kudumbi community. Descendants of Konkani-speaking refugees who had fled Portuguese persecution in Goa centuries earlier. The Kudumbis had always lived on society's fringes, working as laborers in Kerala's shrimp farms and estuaries, struggling with poverty and discrimination. What happened next would transform a local investigation into a sensational media circus. Under interrogation, Jayanandan allegedly confessed not just to Devaki's murder, but to a string of other brutal killings that had baffled police across Thrissur and Ernakulam districts. According to investigators, he admitted to 7 murders committed between 2003 and 2006, all following a similar pattern: elderly victims attacked while sleeping, heads bashed with blunt instruments, homes looted of cash and jewelry. The confessions painted a picture of methodical brutality. Jose, a 45-year-old man killed in September 2003 with a crowbar for $17,000 and a video player. Nabisa, 51, and her family, including her daughter in Lafaucia, 23, and 2 children, all murdered when they interrupted his March 2004 burglary. The elderly couple Sahadavan, 64, and Nirmala, 58, killed in October 2004 for 11.25 sovereigns of gold. Security guard Sabash Khan struck down with an iron rod in August 2005. Media outlets across Kerala seized on the story with sensational headlines. Here was their Ripper, a reference to London's Jack the Ripper, singing fisherman who allegedly hummed while he killed. Television channels ran dramatic reenactments. Newspapers published lurid details, and Jayanandan's nickname stuck in public consciousness. The contrast was irresistible. A man known for his melodious voice, transformed into Kerala's most feared predator. But beneath the media frenzy lay a darker truth that few bothered to investigate. Jayanandan retracted his confessions as soon as he was produced before a magistrate. For 17 years since his arrest, he has consistently maintained that the confessions were extracted through brutal torture. Yet this crucial detail was largely ignored by the same media that had branded him a monster. The first cracks in the prosecution's case began to appear during the trials. Jayanandan faced charges in 5 separate murder cases, but the results were far from the slam-dunk convictions the police had promised. In 3 of the 5 cases, he was acquitted due to lack of evidence. The much-celebrated confessions proved inadmissible in court, and physical evidence linking him to the crimes was remarkably scarce. A groundbreaking investigation by journalist M.K. Nidhish for the News Minute in 2023 revealed disturbing details about the police investigation. Multiple witnesses came forward to admit they had been coerced by police to lie in court, fearing that a guilty man might go free if they didn't cooperate. One investigating officer boasted on record about using torture to extract Jayanandan's confession. Crucial lab reports that might have exonerated him were allegedly suppressed by the prosecution. The restaurant owner near the crime scene revealed how police forced him to sign blank papers and later called him as a witness despite having witnessed nothing. A relative of victim Devaki made the startling admission that the family was convinced by aggressive police pressure and media coverage to lie in their testimonies. Fearing Jayanandan might escape justice without their false statements, Dr. Shivalingappa Sangati studied the case extensively, noted that Jayanandan's alleged method breaking into homes at night and using blunt weapons became a convenient template for police to link unsolved crimes. But the consistency that investigators claimed proved his guilt could equally suggest that unrelated crimes were being artificially connected to build a stronger case against a vulnerable suspect. The community from which Jayanandan came, the Kudumbas, had every reason to distrust the justice system. As K.R. Gauriyama documented in her autobiography, the Kudumbas were worse off than scheduled castes in terms of social and economic conditions. They were easy targets for police looking to close high-profile cases quickly, with little social capital to resist false accusations. Yet Jayanandan was ultimately convicted in 2 murder cases, the killing of Devaki and another elderly woman. He received the death sentence for 1 case, later commuted to life imprisonment. The convictions were based primarily on circumstantial evidence and witness testimony that would later be revealed as potentially fabricated. The story took another dramatic turn when Jayanandan twice escaped from high-security prisons. In June 2013, from Pujapura Central Jail, and again later, only to be recaptured each time. These escapes further cemented his image as a dangerous criminal in the public mind, overshadowing questions about his guilt. But perhaps the most revealing moment came in December 2021, when police accused Jayanandan of yet another murder, this time based solely on alleged confessions to a cellmate about a 2004 double murder at Ponikara. The pattern was depressingly familiar. A cold case. A convenient suspect already in prison, and confessions that couldn't be independently verified. The Ponikara case involved the brutal murder and sexual assault of 73-year-old V. Nanakudi Amal and her 60-year-old nephew, TV Narayan Air, according to police. Jayanandan confessed to his cellmate that he had originally targeted a different house, but switched when lights came on, killing the victims and stealing 40 sovereigns of gold. The investigation revealed Jayanandan's alleged habit of disguising himself as a tender coconut seller to scout potential victim stables that painted him as a calculating predator. Police claimed he would pour kerosene, chili powder, and turmeric at crime scenes to contaminate evidence, showing criminal sophistication. Yet even as police celebrated solving another cold case, the pattern raised uncomfortable questions. Was Jayanandan really confessing to decades-old crimes? Or was he being used as a convenient scapegoat for every unsolved murder in Kerala? The fact that a cellmate's testimony could resurrect a 17-year-old case suggested a justice system more interested in closure than truth. The human cost of this saga extends beyond Jayanandan himself. His daughter Kirthi, who was a child when her father was arrested, grew up branded as the Ripper's daughter. She became a lawyer and fought tirelessly for his release, eventually securing him 2 days of parole in March 2023 to attend her wedding, a moment that sparked both celebration and controversy. In a remarkable twist, Jayanandan used his time in prison to write a book titled Pularaviriam Mump Before the Dawn, which became a bestseller. The transformation from alleged serial killer to published author raised questions about redemption and the possibility of human change, whether an innocent man was simply trying to reclaim his narrative. The book's success highlighted the central mystery of Jayanandan's case. Who was the real man behind the Ripper label? Was he a cunning serial killer who used his singing voice to lure victims, or a marginalized fisherman destroyed by a prejudiced justice system looking for easy answers to difficult crimes? The Kudumbi community's tragic history adds another layer to this puzzle. Forced to flee religious persecution in Goa, they had spent centuries as outsiders in Kerala society, working dangerous jobs in marshlands and facing discrimination. When police needed a suspect for brutal murders, a poor, educated Kudumbi fisherman with a history of petty crime made a perfect target. Recent revelations have vindicated many who questioned the original investigation. Confession-based cases have largely collapsed under scrutiny. Witness statements have been exposed as coerced, and the forensic evidence remains suspiciously thin. Yet Jayanandan remains in prison, his life destroyed by accusations that may have been built on lies and torture. Today, at age 57, Jayanandan continues serving his life sentence at Veer Central Jail in Thrissur. His case has become a cautionary tale about media sensationalism, police misconduct, and the dangers of rushing to judgment. The singing serial killer may have been nothing more than a marginalized fisherman whose voice was silenced by a system that preferred convenient villains to inconvenient truths. The question that haunts Kerala to this day is not whether Jayanandan sang while he killed, but whether justice sang at all in his case. Was the man who hummed traditional boat songs while casting his nets really a monster? Or was he the victim of a different kind of horror, a justice system that tortured confessions from the innocent and built cases on lies? What do you think? Could a singing fisherman really be Kerala's most notorious serial killer? Or was Jayanandan the victim of one of India's most shocking miscarriages of justice? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this exploration into the dark side of criminal investigations moved you, hit that like button, subscribe to Silent Conspiracy, and ring the notification bell. Next time we'll uncover another case where the line between victim and villain becomes impossible to draw. Until then, stay vigilant. And remember, sometimes the most dangerous predators are those who wear badges and carry the power to destroy lives with false accusations.